Hi everyone, and welcome back to Enjoying Pixels. I'm Sasha, and this is The Letter. It is a horror visual novel, and it's another long one, so strap in. I'm very excited. The background, as you can tell, is kind of in flux. We're renovating, there's a whole bunch of stuff. There's gonna be a hilarious cut to earlier. It's because part of the footage corrupted at the very beginning, just a teensy-weensy bit, and I'm sad because there was a jump scare when you first loaded the game, and I did jump and scream, and then I laughed so hard, and I'm sad that that's gone now. But there's just a few lines missing at the start. It's just about how the manor is cursed. It's a cursed manor, and we should beware. I'm very excited to be playing another game with all of you. We'll jump right in, back into it really. Under their influence and wealth, what was once a small sleepy village grew to a prosperous and bustling town. However, the seasons of joy eventually ended when the good nobles perished at the hands of a great plague. Their riches and legacy were henceforth passed on to their only child, Lady Charlotte Ermengarde. The mansion has stood since the 1620s, a witness to a very long history of joy and pain. After Lady Charlotte committed suicide, the great house was eventually left uninhabitable. Oh, uninhabited. There's a mic here. Let me just move that. Can you tell it's been a while since I filmed? I'm a mess. And that is when it began. Surrounding villagers spoke of seeing and hearing unearthly things, of cries and howls that filled the nights, and hearsay of a mysterious woman roaming the hallowed halls aimlessly. I wanted to say hallowed. I was prepared for hallowed. People who dared enter its walls were simply never heard from again. Even after 400 years, these stories remain, much like the house itself. Whispers about the once great house, its legend, and its curse still fall upon the villagers' ears. In spite of this, the current owners are convinced that these stories are nothing more than a hoax. With little regard for the truth, they had Briar Realty Corporation place the property back on sale. Like Pandora's box, the secrets that lie inside await to be discovered by brave souls. No matter what happens, take care not to be consumed by the curse. I promise nothing. Good luck. Oh, I'll need it. I'll need it. Ooh, I have relationships. Look, there's a relationship tree and a bro. Let's save, even though I haven't done anything. Isabella. Incoming call. Can I accept it?
Hello? Isabella? Are you there? Where are you?
I don't know. Familiar jittery voice comes from the other end.
Oh, hey Rose. I'm at St. Goretti High. What's the matter?
What do you mean, what's the matter?
It means that she doesn't know what the matter is.
It's the mansion, silly. I'm here and you're late. Jeez, we're on shift together. You promised. Oh my god, please don't tell me you forgot. You were planning on leaving me to check this place out on my own, weren't you? You chickened out.
Calm down. You know I take my promises seriously.
I'd like to believe that. So hurry up and get here. This place is huge. A bit too quiet since no one's lived here since, like, forever, but beautiful nonetheless.
I'm really curious about that career day poster. What is that career? Luchador businessman? Like, I need to know.
Why are you so surprised? This isn't the first time you've been there.
Why are you blushing?
I know. I just wish I could live in a place like this.
Haunted, cursed.
It really takes my breath away.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be so sure about that. Not after the rumors that say it's haunted.
Let me turn this music down a bit. There we go.
Jeez, never mind those rumors. Ghosts aren't real after all.
That's what you think.
And even if they are, which they are not, they can't do anything.
Ooh, birds flying by the window.
They're nothing but spirits.
You don't know that. They might be listening or watching right now, and they might not be happy with you enough to curse you.
Poltergeists.
No offense, sweetie, but that's a bit of a stretch.
Believe it or not, it's better to be careful.
I'm feeling Isabella.
Right. You know, not every property we sell will end up with a dead body stuffed in a sofa.
You should hope not.
And I think that mansion is where we'll likely find another one. I can feel it.
Another one?
That was one time, Isabella. Loosen up.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a corpse. What, are you traumatized or something?
Wait, just get here ASAP, please. I'm getting bored being here on my own.
Bored.
Fine. Let me just finish up here. I'll be right there soon.
Okay, see you. Bye.
She hangs up before I can respond. Rose, still charming as ever. What's in my journal? Oh, I don't have any journal entries yet. What's my relationship like? Okay, I am Isabella. Oh, okay, Isabella's got a good relationship with Zachary, Marianne, Rebecca, Ashton's Luke's like, Cool. Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited to mess with these people's relationships.
Who was that?
I look up from my phone to see Rebecca. Becca giving me a questioning look.
Oh, that? It's just Rose.
The one who trained you.
Why did you stop talking, Becca? I was unprepared. Also, that animation was very smooth. I liked it.
You're working together again? Just for this property. We've been scoping out that big mansion down Anselm Village after the renovations.
Maybe when they took the rest of the line, it wasn't good, and so they left it. Sometimes, you know, things like that happen, like how my camera is currently going in and out right now.
Today's sort of its grand opening to the public. The RC wants to give it one last check before we let potential buyers tour it this afternoon.
I was just very excited to film. That's why it's so rough. I wanted to be with you again. It's been too long.
Hold on. Is this the same mansion you've been telling everyone about?
Why don't you have the same lines, Becca?
Didn't you keep saying how it just gave you the creeps? You actually went there? And you're going back?
Well, I did promise Rose I wouldn't ditch her.
Also, it's my job, I think.
And besides, a job is a job. Gotta do what you gotta do to make a living.
Yeah. As soon as those words leave my mouth, Becca lets out a soft chuckle. That was more than soft. I was like, aha.
What's so funny?
Nothing. It's just that I didn't expect you to say that. Coming from you, it sounds so out of character.
It's only been a few minutes. I don't know what anybody's character is yet.
I mean, no offense, but you've been freaking out ever since you got assigned to it.
I feel like I need to read what she's saying because cursed rumors and all because she's missing things.
I honestly thought you'd back out.
Not all the time. I could really use a huge amount of cash right now, and this is just the fastest way to get it.
It's not, but I mean, maybe you don't want to do the other things that are the fastest way to get cash.
Plus, listen to this. Briar Realty wants it sold as soon as possible, and the agent who lands the deal is going to get a huge bonus. They never give bonuses like that. Getting that would make life so much easier. They're desperate, I'm desperate, it's perfect.
No! A sympathetic look crosses her face.
You know, if you're really in urgent need of money, you could have just asked me.
Look into my beautiful pink eyes.
Or Ashton. We can always let you borrow, and you can pay us back whenever.
I have to keep myself from groaning out loud. In the years I've known her, I can already tell what to expect when she has that expression.
Becca!
I've noticed that you've been living off instant noodles these past few weeks.
Sometimes that's just a choice that people make. She crosses her arms and grimaces at the thought, instant noodles are great, how dare you? Her voice slightly rises as she begins to scold me. Instantly I'm reminded why Becca excels at teaching boisterous teenagers.
Stop eating junk! They're cheap, but they're not good for you. You'll definitely end up in the hospital if you keep at it.
What, eating cup noodles? Here we go again. You're not my mom, or I eat other things too. Well, since I looked at their relationship and it said it was good, I'm just gonna say I eat other things too, with different brands of cup noodles.
Hey! I eat other things too.
I got an achievement for that? Oh, I got an achievement because I made a choice. Oh, I got a plus. She liked that. So that upped. So I got a big up for saying I eat other food. Nice. That sounds like I should save. Yeah, I eat other things worthy of a save. I fold my arms across my chest, mimicking her posture and giving her the best frown I can muster, the same one I'd use with my younger siblings when they're being difficult. Instead, she only raises an eyebrow at me.
That's not going to work on me. And I saw it when you were cleaning your flat last week. The instant noodle cups outnumber everything else.
I'm not here for this instant noodle discrimination.
You're just exaggerating. Did you even see what's in my cupboard yet? I'm not just living on instant noodles alone. I've got canned beans, peas, tuna, ham, and even hamburgers in there.
Becca's wrinkling her nose by the time I get to the end of the small list. She even went a little green on the last one. I would have laughed a little at that if I didn't know it would only lead to more reprimands from her.
Aren't those those the same ones you won from the grocer's raffle more than a year ago? Oh, I sincerely hope you're checking the date stamps on those things before eating them. I don't want a repeat of last year. In any case, those are still not exactly healthier choices, Belle.
She shakes her head, possibly laughing at some funny distant memory, potentially of me in the hospital with food poisoning. When she looks up, I immediately brace myself. More words from her. Sometimes it's just better to let Becca talk until she's out of things to say. But when she turns her attention back to me, there's only warmth in her smile.
What am I going to do with you?
I don't know, buy me some real food? She says this more to herself than me, her voice shifting to something kinder, even motherly if I'm looking for the exact word.
I hope you know that it's impossible not to worry about you when you're like this. You don't have to keep eating the same thing.
Didn't I tell you before? You're always free to reheat my leftovers.
Thanks, Becca. I really appreciate it, but you don't need to keep babying me. You've been taking care of me since after I moved here. You have to take a break sometime. And before you ask again, no. You know I'm not a fan of borrowing money. And I'm not going to ask you to give me what you earned hard for yourself.
You and your pride. But suit yourself. The offer stays on the table, though.
I nod in response, wanting to get her to drop the topic. I would like to go to the scary mansion now, please. But I'm pretty certain I will never take that offer. Ever. It has nothing to do with pride. I've simply seen plenty of times how friendships can take a turn for the worse just because of a few unpaid debts. I don't want something like that to happen between me and Becca. We may argue about a lot of small petty things, but she already feels like a real sister to me. I don't want to lose that friendship over something so trivial. Becca's movements when she takes a quick glance at something behind me snaps me out of my thoughts.
Well, enough chit-chat. Lunch is ending, and my students will be back any minute.
Why was I here again?
We can catch up later. Good luck with your clients. You better treat us to lunch or something if you get that sale.
You bet!
With a small smile, she returns to her desk and begins sifting through the pages of a rather thick history book. She's probably working on next week's lesson plan. Or trying, at least. Her eyes are distant, and she doesn't seem too attentive to whatever is on the page. As if she heard my thoughts, Becca starts coughing heavily. Her hand hastily goes to her mouth to stifle the sounds. This is precisely why I followed her here. For someone who makes a habit of worrying about other people, Becca sure forgets how to take care of herself.
Hey, you sure you can manage on your own?
Are you dying of plot convenience-itis?
I mean, you're still a bit feverish.
Hush, dear. Don't you worry about me.
I'm just here to infect all my students, it's fine.
I'll just drink some medicine and I'll be right as rain.
I level her with a flat look. She has had a cold for a couple of days now. Something about the strange weather not agreeing with her lately. What's strange about it is the fact that it's the same birds flying over and over again. And despite my advice to take the week off and rest, I found her apartment empty when I dropped by this morning. She even left the medicine her doctor prescribed. Look who's being stubborn now.
You shouldn't even be working right now.
Seriously, you big baby. I'll be fine. For now, just go to work and stop making that Rose girl wait for you. I'll call you if I still feel bad, and you can come pick me up if it makes you feel any better.
She offers me a reassuring smile, and I can only sigh. Why do I even bother? There is no stopping her once she has decided on something. Defeated, I reach inside my bag to pull out the same bottle of medicine she left earlier. She looks at it warily when I place it in front of her. Unfortunately for her, this is one thing I'm not letting her have her way.
All right, but don't forget what the doctor said. Drink this on time.
Just on time, anytime.
I'll see you later, okay?
There's an amused gleam in her eyes when she shifts them back to me.
Look who's playing the mother hen now.
Rebecca!
Okay. I won't tease anymore. I'll make sure to drink it, Mom.
Before I can retort, she casts another look at the clock. I take that as a sign to finally end the conversation and my short visit. With a small wave, I leave her alone to her classroom and her thoughts. I hail a passing taxi to take me to the property as soon as I leave the school grounds. The mansion is some ways out in the countryside, but I don't have trouble giving the driver directions. Apparently, everyone in Luxbourne City knows of it, including every bit of rumor surrounding the place. In fact, just the mention of its name is enough for locals to give you cautious, sidelong glances. I learned that the hard way the first time I commuted there, and it only boosted my belief that there's something more to the house. Even the news of it being renovated and placed back up in the market has caused quite a stir. Thankfully, it died down a few weeks later. The place would have become a lot harder to sell otherwise. I avert my eyes from the windows once the buildings shrink in the distance. We get a glimpse of the countryside soon, although a quick glance at my watch tells me we're still a few minutes away from our destination. Might as well get some work done. Rose did ask me to review the mansion's documents. I already looked them over last night, but you never know when things may go wrong. Life has ways of messing things up like that. Halfway through reading the papers, my phone rings again. I pick it up without looking, neatly tucking it between my ear and shoulder. It's probably just Rose again anyway.
Rose?
Ashton.
Guess again.
That voice.
Ash.
Bingo.
Hey, what's up?
Just checking if you're still cool later this evening.
For what? You got anime hair. I like it.
You mean that thing with Zach?
Yeah. He even called in the middle of the night just to remind me.
What's my relationship with you two? Ash is alright, but Zach is like, oh, do you like Zach? Is that what's going on here?
No, don't worry. I didn't forget. I'll be there.
Cool. I'll see you later. What time do you get off?
Around 6 p.m.? I don't know. It's the first day of the Ermengarde Mansion's open house, and we're expecting quite a number of potential buyers. I'll be booked the whole afternoon.
Those same birds. They're following me.
Ermengarde Mansion?
You know, the big Jacobean mansion at Anselm Village. I'm on my way there right now, actually.
On your own?
Yeah, well, Rose is already there, but yeah.
I see. Looks like the scaredy cat finally toughened up.
Shut up!
Ash chuckles, and I can't help but roll my eyes upon hearing it.
I'll see you later. Drop me a call when you're done. I'll see if I can pick you up.
Whatever. Bye.
Stupid Ashhole, always teasing me whenever he sees a chance. I'll show him who's tough. It takes a few more minutes until I finally reach the infamous mansion. I have to admit, the entire property does look wonderful from the outside, but they're playing this horrible, ominous music, and the wind is rushing, and those birds are still following me. Okay, so it says my journal is updated. Okay. Oh, nice. Oh, profiles. Ooh, she has a profile. A Gemini, just like moi. Alright, real estate agent, Filipino, Roman Catholic, fine arts undergraduate, like cinnamon rolls, dogs, food, police procedural dramas, and teleseries, comedies, and karaoke. She is the third child among 7, daughter of a laundrywoman and a jeepney driver. She went to a public school and was an average student, but took to art easily. Eventually, she pursued a degree in fine arts as encouraged by her father. However, when the man was diagnosed with a terminal illness, she had to stop studying to make money. It was Isabella's aunt who helped her get work overseas in order to earn more money than any local job could get her. Rose Cooper became her mentor as soon as she started as an agent at BRC. It's been 5 years since she met her neighbor Rebecca. She met Ashton during an unfortunate incident involving her first sale at Devlin Court, and later Zachary through him. Okay. This is good. This is good information to have. We're getting all kinds of backstory. Yet despite all of this, it does nothing to hide that something is just wrong. The surrounding area is unusually silent, and only the rustling of the leaves can be heard as the occasional breeze passes. While Anselm Village is just a few miles away, everybody keeps their distance on purpose. Perhaps out of fear, the horror falling under the mansion's curse. Somehow it makes me feel sad. The lack of immediate human presence just makes this place all the more eerie than it has any right to be. If it's uncanny in broad daylight, I can't imagine how this place looks at night. But I bet we're gonna find out.
Are you planning to go inside that place, Missy?
The voice nearly makes me jump out of my skin. Without completely taking my eyes away from the house, I give the driver a confused nod. A beat passes while I wait for him to say more, but his only answer is a non-committal hum. Belatedly, it occurs to me that he must have been waiting for my payment. I mentally slap myself for spacing out and promptly hand him the fare with an apologetic look. I expected him to leave as soon as I've paid, but there's a hesitant expression on him, as if something hasn't been said yet.
Is there something wrong?
Look, Missy, I'm sure you've heard what the people are telling everyone about that place. Nobody likes to be disturbed when they're at peace, and I'm pretty sure whatever they say is in their house doesn't want to either. I admit they did a good job fixing it up, but there must have been a reason why even distant relatives of the family who used to own the house never lived in there despite inheriting it. No wonder they wanted to get rid of it.
But maybe they just didn't like it?
You never know.
He drives off after, but what he said has left a foreboding feeling in my gut. I breathe out a heavy sigh as I approach the house. After hearing enough of the rumors, I should have expected the conversation to take that turn. I'm at the house. But I'm already here. Backing out is completely out of the question, because I guess they won't give me that option. Just turn around, go hang out with Ash. It's not like I have a choice anyway. Exactly. If I want to get that bonus and commission one way or another, I've got to sell this property. The door is ajar when I get to it, however, while my own copy of the keys dangle uselessly in my hand. Rose must have left it open when she arrived. That's weird. We may be the only people here this early, but I've never known her as someone careless. The foyer. Entering what greets me inside leaves me gasping. They've cleaned every corner, waxed the floor, dusted the antiques, searched every nook, cranny, and crevice, and made it spick and span. All for the sake of making the mansion more enticing for the modern-day lords and ladies. But no matter how hard they try, the mansion still looks as soulless as ever, as though it's going to eat you alive. If you ask me, they should have just listened to what other people have been telling them and leave this place alone, and maybe move some of the scary portraits off the wall as well. Some things in this world are better left alone, never to be disturbed ever again.
Rose?
I call out.
Rose, I'm here. Where are you?
My voice echoes softly throughout the hallways. Oh, who am I kidding? In a place this big, I don't think she'll hear me no matter how deafening the silence is. She could be all the way on the other side of the property for all I know. Quickly I reach for my phone and dial her number, but...
The number you have dialed has not been recognized. Please check and try again.
What do you mean has not been recognized? We were just talking a while ago. It's not like she was eaten by the house, right? Or maybe the ghost did hear us talking and spirited her away, right? Right? No, Isabel, don't be ridiculous. She probably just wandered deeper into the house and lost signal or something. I dial her number again, hoping the call will connect this time.
The number you have dialed has not been recognized. Please check and try again.
But to no avail. Oh boy, I have a very bad feeling about this.
Rose? If you can hear me, please come out. Come on, Rose. This isn't funny. You know this place gives me the creeps.
No answer. This isn't going to work. The place is big. She could be anywhere. I need to start looking for her. I take a deep breath before venturing deeper into the mansion. Taking a couple steps forward, I notice something move above the grand staircase.
What the hell? Rose? Rose, is that you? Not funny. I'm leaving you if you don't come out. Not coming out, huh?
Fine, I'm going.
Okay, that's a lie. She's my friend. I can't really leave until I know she's all right. Growing desperate, I try to contact her number again. Come on, please give me something. Please, Lord? Yes, finally.
Hello? Hello? Rose, I'm here at the mansion. Where the hell are you?
She doesn't respond. There's also heavy static coming from her side. I sincerely hope it doesn't get cut off again before I can get an answer from her.
Rose, come on. Where are you?
A few moments pass until the static eventually starts to quiet down. Oh, no thank you.
What? The attic? Why?
Crap, it got cut off. I don't want to go to the attic, and I'm in an attic right now. Man, do I really need to go there? I don't want to go to the attic, man. Come on. Like, don't make it be like this. With how deep inside the mansion the attic is, there's barely any signal there. No wonder I can't contact her. But why is she there? Out of all places, she just has to make me go fetch her in the creepiest room of this place. Is it creepier than the basement? Is she doing this to get back at me for being late? Whatever, I'll just go. The sooner I meet up with her, the sooner I'll feel better about being here. I carefully make my way up the staircase. My legs wobble as I mentally curse the fact that I've chosen real estate instead of picking a career that doesn't involve strange abandoned houses. Upon reaching the top, the grand hallway greets me. Okay, here we are. It branches out to the two major wings of the mansion, the east and the west wing. There are two attics here, one on each side. But the east one has been converted to a storage room of sorts, and somehow I find it least likely for Rose to wander there by herself. Besides, she never did like going into stuffy storage rooms. So I head towards the west wing, where a simple wooden door at the end of the hall opens to a small room. Inside is another set of steps leading to the second attic. Unlike the grand staircase, though, the stairs to the attic are steep and narrow, made of old stones and covered with a thick coating of dust that kicks up into the air with every step. Thank God it's still daytime. If it wasn't for the light streaming through the door behind me, I might easily stumble and fall. With how old the place is, there are no light fixtures to illuminate the cramped passage up. That would have increased the value of the house. Why they didn't bother to add one here when they renovated escapes me. Exactly. Sheesh, they did it with the rest of the house. A small bedroom welcomes me at the end. It looks exactly as it did since the last time I've been here, full of dust, worn out, and faded by time. Odd, I thought they cleaned everything. I don't like this cramped, cubby attic room. Did the crew miss this room? It's haunted. Cleanliness is the least of my concerns right now. The more pressing matter is Rose. She's not here. Was I dreaming when I talked to her a while ago? Did I mishear her? Or you could go check the other attic, which I feel would have been the more likely choice because it has stuff in it. No, it couldn't have been a dream. After all, the creepy ambience of this estate is doing such a remarkable job of making sure I stay alert and awake. And I'm sure that she said she's here. Is this a prank? Is this a prank, bro? Or maybe that phone call was Rose's last message to me before the curse got to her. Like, shut up, brain, you are not helping. Don't make this scarier than it already is. But if she's not here, then where is she? What the hell was that? That's it. I can't do this anymore. I'm leaving. We must have angered the spirits living here. I knew disturbing this mansion was a bad idea right from the very start, but nobody listened. Be realistic, they said. They think I'm cuckoo because I believe in curses and ghosts and all that. Me and my outlandish backwater country beliefs. I've always strived to be a model employee, but not this time, no. I'm turning back for the sake of my sanity. Briar Realty can find another agent who is more realistic to tour people around this haunted house. Before leaving, I take one last look at the gloomy old room, just to check.
Huh? What's this?
My worries about Rose's whereabouts must have caused me to miss it when I first entered the room. But there's clearly something on the floor. It looks like...
A letter?
Lying on the ground just a couple of inches away from my feet, out of sheer curiosity, I lean down and pick it up. Strange. I don't recall seeing this the last time I was here. A few days back, me and a few other agents inspected the mansion to prepare for today. I had been the last to look inside the attic and leave, and this certainly hadn't been here before. Someone must have left it in this room since then. Did Rose leave this for me? Was she here a while ago? I couldn't have missed her though, could I? There's only one set of stairs leading to the attic. The letter isn't exactly in pristine condition. In fact, it looks rather ancient. The paper is so thin and rough, I'm worried it'll fall apart if I so much as touch it. But with great care I open it, and what I read shakes me to my core.
What?
Help me.
What?
Help me, help me, help me, help me, help me.
Oh my God.
Ooh. Nothing but the words help me fills the page, all of it seemingly written with a crimson shaded pen. Or blood. I gulp. The same phrase just going on until... Send this to 5 people or else. No chain nonsense. No, none of that.
Send this to 5 people or else. Or else what? Or else what?
As quickly as I can, I scan the back of the paper and peek into the envelope to make sure I'm not missing out on a second page. But there's nothing.
No. Oh, please, no.
My hands tremble as dread creeps over me. The room is suddenly getting colder. Ghost! I need to get out of here. Folding the paper in half, the sight that greets me next has me frozen on the spot. Oh my God. Ghost! A pair of blood-soaked feet enters my field of vision, covered in gaping wounds with skin eaten away to reveal flesh, bone, all manner of things one isn't meant to see. Those are Hellraiser feet. It's too much. All of it is too much. I want to cry, call for help, but the words catch in my throat. Even my feet won't move, completely paralyzed out of terror. Lord, please help me. Close eyes and pray, or be brave and look up. I want to see it. Oh, I'm that person. I want to see it. I need to face it. Whoever, whatever these feet belong to, I need to face it. I need to see it. And if I'm gonna die, if they're gonna kill me, at least I'll know what my killer looks like. A cold comfort. So with a deep breath, I summon every ounce of courage I have left in me and shift my gaze upward. Oh no.
Please, don't hurt me. No!
Oh. Without thinking, I scramble towards the door. I struggle to open it, but it won't budge.
Stay away! Go away! Please, Lord, make it go away!
You knew nothing good could be in this room. Why now? Why won't it open now? My heart sinks as reality dawns in. I'm locked in. Locked in with that thing.
Let me out! Let me out! Lord, please, let me out!
It slowly approaches me as I wrench the doorknob violently back and forth. Oh, Zed. Ah! No, get out of here. We're getting. Yes! I wasn't prepared to have to do stuff. My keyboard was not in front of me. The door finally swings open and I couldn't have been happier. Wasting no time, I leap out the door and don't look back. It's a good thing my keyboard was over there and not further. I'm about to die in that attic. My feet pound against the floor in rhythm with the loud, fast beating of my heart. By the time I run past the hallway and find myself atop the grand staircase, my chest feels so tight, like it's gonna burst. But that's nothing compared to the feeling of hope the sight of the exit gives me. Racing down the stairs, a breathy laugh escapes me and my shoe slips and I find myself falling until my back hits the ground and pain racks my body. Oh, my head grows fuzzy and my vision dims as I fight to stay conscious. Oh no, it's coming.
Go away.
Oh, it's coming. The last thing I see are those feet before all I know is darkness. Whew. I don't think I made it. A buzz breaks the silence. I start to rouse, pulling into consciousness against my own will. I've never felt this tired before. I just want to sleep, but the insistent buzzing, poking, and prodding isn't letting me. My old mattress may not be the comfiest of places, but that doesn't make me any more eager to wake up.
5 more minutes, Becca.
I swat away at what is nudging persistently at my side. Come on. Can't I just get a few extra minutes of sleep today? I promise I'll work hard once I'm up. A hand lightly taps my cheek and something cold is suddenly being pressed at the back of my head. The icy sensation slowly spreads throughout the area, giving me an uncomfortable feeling. No! There's a curse in this house! Isabella? The fog immediately lifts from my mind the moment I recognize the voice and my eyes snap open. There looking down at me is Rose. Another woman loiters beside her, but my attention is too focused on my co-agent to even ask why there's someone else with her. Rose's posture just screams worry, although she's keeping a straight face, or trying at least. I can't help but feel bad for making her fret. A wave of dizziness washes over me as soon as I try to get up, forcing me to lie back down again. Luckily, the feeling subsides after a few seconds, until only a mild throbbing somewhere at the back of my head remains. With a little assistance from Rose, I push myself upright. She hands me an ice pack and gestures for me to press it where I suspect a small bump has already formed, if the light ache in the area indicates anything. Also, you know, check if your spine's broken.
All right, Isabella, where are we?
The Ermengarde mansion. Why? Ow, my head.
And the date today?
October 21st? Rose.
Last one. Can you count to 15 in reverse order?
15, 14, 13, 12, no. That's wrong. Why are we doing this?
She's just checked if your injury is in any way serious.
This time I curiously regard the woman standing beside Rose, and her double coat. It's impossible to overlook her, what with the way she towers over us. Well, she's not towering over Rose. And here I thought Rose is already tall. Who is she anyway? One of the remaining cleaning crews? But with how primly dressed she is, I don't think anyone would want to clean this suit, an expensive suit at that. The gloves alone must have already cost a fortune. Her eyes slowly shift between me and Rose, considering us with an almost unreadable expression before finally fixing a sharp gaze on me. I can't help but fold my arms protectively over myself as she does so. She may be far from a cleaning crew, but she certainly looks like our supervisor during evaluation.
Just do it, please.
I eye them both warily but recite everything as she has asked. Rose releases a breath of relief once I'm done.
You scared me for a moment there. I was about to call for an ambulance.
You know, maybe you still should. Just, there are injuries you can't see.
Are you all right?
No. Exasperation soon replaces the dull ache. The memory's a little fuzzy, but the attic and...
There was someone, Rose. In the attic.
Someone? You mean a client? Oh, that's unlikely. It's probably just one of the cleaning crews. The boss sent a few of them back this morning for some last minute...
No, not any of those. They're, I'm not actually sure. Wait, didn't I call you? You said you were in the attic when you answered. That's why I went there in the first place.
Both Rose and Lay look at me like I've grown another head. Did I say something weird? Rose quickly casts an apologetic smile at them before the awkward silence stretches on further. It's her saleswoman smile, the same one she taught me back when I was still her trainee. I should show this to troublesome clients or just to avoid trouble in general, she advised. It's also the same one she gives me when I've done something particularly absurd that may cause us to lose a potential sale. Her eyes are serious when she turns back to me. She takes both my shoulders, gently squeezes it, and with as much patience she can muster.
As much as I'd love to have gotten at least a heads up of your arrival, I didn't really get a call from you. You know, signal here is absolutely horrendous. I was in the garden earlier and couldn't even make a single call.
Well, I mean, if this is a potential client, you're right now the person who's making it sound unappealing. Like, do you have a phone? You won't be able to use it.
Isabella, I'm going to ask again. Are you really all right? What happened?
She just said no.
I don't know. It's all a bit blurry. I remember I was looking for you, but you weren't in the attic. And there's whoever it is. Then I must have tripped on a rug or something on the way down. Oh no. Do you think someone came in while you were out? You left the main door open. We are so going to get into big trouble if something gets stolen, Rose.
Perhaps it is a concussion.
Are you sure you feel fine? We could still call for an ambulance. I could cover for you.
No, I'm fine. I'm okay, Rose. I can work.
Hey, Rose, you want this letter? Wait, hold your horses, Rose. I can't just miss an important sale because of a minor bump in the head. An extremely minor bump, just fell down that entire staircase. It's totally fine. I've had worse when I was a kid. This is nothing.
Besides, if I leave, you'll have to shoulder everything in the open house, alone. And in a mansion this big?
Well, there's also the part where I may lose that bonus BRC promised, but that's completely beside the point. Rose gives me a skeptical look when I return the cold compress to her and push myself off the floor. I have to use the staircase's railings to steady myself, but otherwise, I feel fine.
See? I'm A-okay.
Woo! The two of them exchange a worried glance, and Rose assumes a contemplative look. I bite my lower lip in anticipation. If she says no...
All right, you in.
A smile threatens to slip out from me.
If I see that you aren't feeling well, I'm taking you personally to the nearest clinic to have you checked. Clear?
Clear as day, ma'am. Thanks, Rose.
You insisted. But remember what I said. First sign of you looking not okay, and we're off. No questions asked.
It's just a small bump. Don't worry.
You shouldn't downplay these kinds of things. It could be a serious injury for all we know.
Which is why you should probably actually call an ambulance, but it's fine. Suddenly, a small cough sounds against the walls of the foyer, interrupting our banter. The woman is looking expectantly at the two of us, her stare making me shrink back a little on myself. She isn't really intimidating. You mean she is intimidating, otherwise you wouldn't shrink back in on yourself. Well, she is, but not in the scary negative way. Far from it, actually her demeanor simply commands an air of sophistication and respect. But that can still be negative. Okay, it's fine, Isabella, you hit your head. In a different world, a younger me would have probably wished to be like her. At her lack of response, she coughs again, lifting a well-trimmed eyebrow at me in question. Words get caught in my throat at the sight of it, and Rose, as usual, is swift to catch my blunders.
My sincerest apologies, Mrs.
Miss McCulloch. Marianne McCulloch.
She hands Rose her business card. Hello. The words interior designer catch my eyes before my partner flips it over. Oh, probably someone interested in the mansion for his 17th century influences then. I won't hold it against her though. Despite the hearsays and remaining uninhabited for years, the mansion's original fittings and furniture have been kept completely intact and restored to pristine condition. That would be worth a lot. I suppose some people find that trip to the past feeling appealing. It's a beautiful house, like why the shade? Like it's cursed, but that's the problem, not the furniture or the fixtures. After all, with what it offers, this place could also be a haven for people looking to live somewhere with a classic historical charm.
Miss McCullough, I'm Rose Cooper, and this is my partner, Isabella Santos. We're just ironing out a few things, but we'll be starting the tour soon enough. In the meantime, we've prepared some refreshments for you in the parlor while you're waiting. If you could please...
Yes, I would love a tour from you and your concussed partner.
Thanks. There's no need for it, though. I just dropped by for a quick survey of the place. I thought I should check the estate before I meet with the homeowners.
Rose's confusion is impossible to miss when she glances at me, and I return it with an equally perplexed look. And against my better judgment, I blurt out the first question that comes to mind.
I'm sorry. Homeowners?
I should have kept my mouth shut. A flash of irritation crosses her face, but it instantly disappears under a mask of professional detachment.
Yes, Hannah right? She hired me to handle the interior design for their new home.
The accents in this game keep going in and out.
This is the Ermengarde mansion, right?
It is, but...
She pauses, possibly trying to find the right words to fix the awkward situation without offending someone. Suddenly Rose nudges me with her elbow. We'll check with our supervisor, I don't know. We'll check. Why are you asking me? I have a concussion. Those few moments have given me enough time to clear my head of any nervousness or confusion clouding it. Oh, Marianne. Marianne liked that. I don't have a relationship with Rose, even though I clearly do.
It is, ma'am, but we weren't aware the mansion has already been sold.
What do you mean?
I almost flinch when she turns her gaze on me, but I stand my ground. Besides, it isn't like I haven't dealt with awkward situations like this before. I may screw up at times, but that doesn't mean I haven't learned a thing or two in the 5 years I've worked in the business.
The mansion is indeed for sale, ma'am. Today's the open house, in fact. However, we haven't heard anything from the higher-ups that a deal has already been closed for this particular property. If you'd like, my co-agent and me can check with them right now.
Somebody is bopping outside my window so hard, like some R&B. It's clashing with the vibe. She nods, seemingly in deep thought after I've finished. She appears to be a reasonable person anyway. Given the proper explanation, she'd surely understand. Yeah, that's worthy of a diary entry, isn't it? Just this note.
I thought something looked odd. Excuse me, I need to call my secretary.
Yeah, that's not sus at all. Everything's totally fine.
Thank you for your assistance, Miss Santos.
With a slight wave of her hand, she leaves us. That seems to be the end of it, for now. Both Rose and I breathe a sigh of relief. Disaster averted. I also don't miss the thumbs up she gives me for doing a good job, and I can't help but swell with pride. Still, I've already prepared myself to dial the number to our Luxburn office and check even if she didn't ask for it. I will be very frustrated if for some reason something has already been decided without Maya Rose's knowledge. That's a whole new level of unfair. We've been working hard on this. Moments later, Miss McCullough returns, looking a little frustrated with an apology clear in her face. I feel a little sorry for her having to go through all this trouble.
There seems to have been a little misunderstanding with my client. If you'll allow it, I'd like to stay and wait for them here.
Just, you know, they think they bought a house and they didn't. No big deal.
I was informed they'll be dropping by for the open house today. I figured it'd be a waste to just leave after that long drive. I might as well meet him here.
Cool. Would you like a chain letter?
Certainly. You can stay at the parlor in the meantime, ma'am. I'm sure it won't be long before our guests arrive. And, Isabella, I left a few documents in my car. You know where I keep those. Can you please get it for me?
Rose takes a glance at her wristwatch before tossing me a set of keys.
And hurry! We've still got a few minutes to double-check those papers.
Okay, got it.
The two of them disappear behind the parlor's door. Their departure brings with it a stillness to keep me company, neither welcoming nor comforting. No, of course not. Can I see that? Did she draw a picture of it? No, of course not. Just that, no, the horrible entity doesn't deserve a photo, but this nice compress does. Alone like this, it's impossible not to think about what really happened. I wish the memory isn't as elusive as it normally is. Then again, Rose already said she didn't receive any call from me. Was it just paranoia, a temporary lapse after having heard all those tales about this place? Probably. I want to think of it as such. Better to think of it as such so I can work in peace. Except a small part of my mind begs to differ, and if I'm going to be completely honest with myself, I want nothing more than to leave this place as soon as possible. I don't know what's in this house, and I don't want to know. The keys Rose has just handed me dig into my palm. Its jagged edges create shallow ridges on my skin from how hard I'm clutching it. It's a reminder of what I still need to do and why I've taken this job in the first place. Hugging my blazer closer to my body, I exit the house to get what Rose has asked me for. Just a few more hours, Isabella. Sell the house, get the money. Get the power, get the woman. Oh. It's too late. It's too late. It's all cursed. A flock of people have already gathered in the mansion's front yard by the time we officially open the doors. I'm not sure whether I should feel baffled or underdressed standing in their presence. Men and women of wealth and status, all dressed to the nines in fancy suits and lovely dresses of varying colors, compose the medium-sized crowd. Their necks, arms, and fingers are adorned with silver and gold, glinting in the afternoon sun. Some even have ridiculously fancy feathered hats on their heads. Nothing wrong with being fancy. I really hope there aren't any magpies living nearby like in the stories. Those birds will have a field day in this. Those birds are everywhere. They're murmuring among themselves, looking at the estate's facade appraisingly, with some arguing about whose mansion has the superior architecture. But most of it stops as Rose calls for their attention. They don't look too pleased at being ordered around, but what can they do about it?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Rose Cooper, and this is my partner, Isabella Santos. We'll be taking a tour of the mansion in 2 groups. Please make sure you filled up our sign-in forms before joining a specific group.
Those who want to look around the first floor, please follow my partner. I'll be guiding the ones who wish to see the ground floor.
Hearing this, a few wander to me. They're mostly old ladies who seem daunted at the idea of climbing all those stairs. Miss McCullough also joins our group, but what really catches my eye is the elegantly dressed pair she approaches. Draco? One of them's totally Draco Malfoy.
It's so nice to finally meet you! When Chief Inspector Lee mentioned that a famous interior designer is in town, I knew I had to get you!
That background music, I knew it, like it crept back up there. Get back down, apply.
Your confidence in my skills is very flattering, ma'am.
I'm sure you won't disappoint, Marianne.
Don't say it like that.
Oh, you know each other?
Not at all, ma'am.
You mentioned something about a Marianne on our way here, darling?
Oh, yes, I think I did.
History. Ah, they must be the clients she was talking about. I might have seen their faces somewhere before, some magazine or the television, I can't quite remember. But then again, most of our guests have likely ended up on the news one way or another. I wouldn't be surprised if these two already have. For people who are popular though, they aren't dressed as loudly as the others, and in their simplicity, the couple stands out. The woman in particular is stunning enough to turn the heads of most people in my group, especially the men with wandering eyes. The guy standing beside her doesn't seem to mind though. And if I'm going to be a bit bolder with my assumptions, I'd say he's basking in the attention. Both of them, in fact. I'd think they're brother and sister if it wasn't for their public display of affection. I mean, you never know. I don't know where this game's going. The matching rings on their fingers just cement the fact that they are indeed a couple. Whatever. Couple or not, what's important is we get this deal closed before the current owners can even think of canceling the listing. I just hope one of the people in my or Rose's group is brave and generous enough to buy this mansion. And so with papers in hand, I lead the way. When they aren't whispering among themselves or going ooh and ah over one thing or another, they ask questions. From how the restoration process went to the history of the place, I answer them all, more than happy to talk about the art pieces and architecture mostly. You know, and the haunting, maybe the haunting. However, I'm careful not to mention anything about the urban legend. Not a good material for sales talk, even if the entire population of Luxburg knows about it. It should be not good material, it's fine.
Some of the furnishings here are actually the 17th century originals, all of which have undergone a painstaking restoration process just to return its original beauty. Even the glass thing, colorful ones. Oh, I don't know, but you get the idea, I hope.
Stained glass.
Especially that one, ma'am. It is said to be a gift commissioned by the fiancé of Lady Charlotte Ermengarde. The mansion's current owners have specifically requested that the restoration crew take great care in handling it. It's a priceless work of art and the most distinctive feature of the mansion.
By the time I stop talking, her attention is already elsewhere.
Isn't this place wonderful, darling? I told you it's not a total waste of your time.
I don't know. Isn't it a bit too small? We might have to break a wall down to have more room.
Well, I think it is just right. Don't you think so, Marianne?
It is splendid, ma'am.
The story just updated.
But isn't it a little too early to make plans when no deal has been signed yet?
Never mind that. It isn't going to be a problem. We've got a wonderful legal team to handle everything. Start taking notes, though. I think I've got a few things I want changed before we move in.
The rest of their conversation gets lost in the chatter of our companions. I don't want to make any assumptions yet, but their sheer interest is enough to give me some semblance of hope. Oh, please, 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 let these guys be the one. Eventually our group reaches the kitchen. Much like the rest of the house, a great deal of effort has been put in retaining the room's classical appeal. Oh, there's a horrible trapdoor over there. Yay! The open hearth at the end of the room in particular looks amazing, like the ones I've only seen in fairy tale books. And mad props to the cleaning crew. Seriously, after overhearing hundreds of their complaints about the soot and tar staining the bricks and how much of a pain in the cleaning this will be, they still managed to pull this off. Or make it look presentable at least. But it doesn't have modern appliances. People aren't gonna want that. They want like a stainless steel, fridge and all that stuff.
The highlight of the room, however, is what's underneath this hatch here.
Death?
Oh, don't say anything yet. An underground wine cellar.
This is the first time the guy in gray speaks up, Mr. Luke Wright, my memory supplies from the forms they signed earlier. His sudden attentiveness catches me off guard, since the start of the tour only his wife has shown any form of genuine interest in the place. But this time, something lights up in his eyes at the mention of the Undercroft. What's so interesting about a basement? I really don't understand rich people sometimes. Basements are great, but also, this is like a secret creepy trapdoor basement in the kitchen. Right now, he just gives me the impression of a child who has seen what he absolutely wants for Christmas. I've always found it cute whenever I see children act that way, my younger siblings especially. On a grown man, it's almost funny.
Yes, sir. It could house around 7,000 to 11,000 bottles of wine.
Truly. And the room, how was it built?
The bricks that were used to build the cellar have been carefully picked for the purpose of maintaining and preserving a constant temperature and humidity in the room. It's a good place to keep your private collection in if you have one, sir.
Oh, he has one. Or he's about to start one.
It keeps the corks in good condition.
Oh, love. Didn't you say before that you wanted to make your own personal vineyard? Perhaps you could start one here.
You know we're going to need space for that, darling.
And this isn't big enough?
If it's space you're worried about, sir, the Ermengarde mansion sits on a 46-acre lot. There's plenty of room for it.
No, it depends how big you're gonna go.
We were told that the original owners had a horse stable built here before, too.
That's not a vineyard. There's a contemplative expression on Mr. Wright's face, but he doesn't say anything further. His wife, however, seems really pleased that he started to show interest, if only a little. I smile to myself. I may not completely understand how these people's minds work, but I sure as hell know how to spot a buyer with sincere interest. Score. I can't wait to tell Rose. The rest of the tour goes by without a hitch. After more than half an hour, we're able to cover almost every room on the ground floor and are heading to the parlor. Funny, the first time BRC had a survey of the property, I kept complaining to Rose how big it is. Now I can't even bring myself to care no matter how much my feet hurt. Maybe this is just my excitement over a possible sale? When we reach the parlor, however, an odd feeling washes over me. It's the... Oh, nope. Nope. It starts off as small goosebumps on my skin, a feeling of being watched intently. Whispers in my ear and shadows dancing, lurking in the corner of my vision. Dark silhouettes that are gone when I turn to look. A chill settles down my spine, making me feel sick, and I start to break out in a cold sweat. I can't do this. I need to sit down for a moment. The old ladies in the group have been requesting for a break anyway. If I can just...
Excuse me, everyone? We will be taking a 15-minute rest here before we visit the first floor. In the meantime, please help yourselves to the refreshments and snacks we've prepared. If anyone has any questions, feel free to approach me. I'd be happy to help you.
I let them sit while I retreat to a quiet corner to recover. It's not what you think. Don't think about it. It's not what you think. I probably just caught Becca's cold. Don't think about it. I'm left alone for a good while, the same words spilling out my lips in a silent prayer, until a hand taps my shoulder.
Hello, you there?
Yes, ma'am?
Oh, look at you. Having to show a group around a mansion this big must be exhausting.
Not a problem, ma'am. I'm just doing my job.
What a hard worker. Anyway, Isabel, right?
Isabella, actually. But yes, what can I help you with, ma'am, right?
Please, just Hannah. Call me Hannah. I just wanted to ask, how soon are we able to move in?
Why are you so keen? It's freaking me out. My brain completely stops. The sick feeling plaguing me is suddenly gone, replaced by utter bewilderment. Is this a joke? She looks at me expectantly as I struggle to come up with an answer.
Wait, ma'am, you see, but we haven't even negotiated a price yet, ma'am. We haven't even finished touring the rest of the mansion. A sale would be great and all, but...
She stops me from speaking any further and puts a hand on my shoulder. For a moment, with her tight smile, she looks as if she has tasted a particularly sour lemon.
Oh, please, sweetie, don't insult me. Money is not a problem. And, just between you and me, this place is better off with us than with some old lady who will probably just fill it up with cats.
I don't know, I feel like that would suit the curse just fine.
I personally don't think there's anything wrong with having cats here, ma'am Hannah. I'm sure there's more than enough space here if you want pets.
Perhaps I'm still not feeling well, but really, what's wrong with cats? More importantly, why is she talking about moving in already?
Well, I'm more of a dog person. But you see, this is going to be a gift to my darling. It's going to be our anniversary soon.
I really wanted to get him a house that he's barely interested in.
And it would be so wonderful if you can secure its purchase for us. Why, I can even offer something extra if you help us out with the paperwork.
We actually have a process for this, ma'am.
Take the under-the-table money.
I don't really think that would be
No, take
necessary.
it. Come on, give it. I'll take it.
or appropriate.
And just what are you two lovely ladies talking about here? Leaving me and our lovely interior designer to talk here by ourselves.
Oh.
What would the people think, darling?
Oh, it's just small talk, love. I was asking if she could help me with the paperwork.
I try not to wince when her nails dig into my shoulder. I know it's just how his animation is, but it looks like he has his hand on Marianne's back. I can't help but send an imploring look at Miss McCullough, who only gives me an apologetic smile and a shrug.
Yeah, I can give you a fact sheet and a form to fill out.
Look at how Hannah is looking at us. Look at those, like, her eyes. Ah. She wastes no time in taking the papers from my hand and shuffles through the bunch. Oh man, Rose is going to be so angry at me for letting her do that.
Wonderful. And Marianne, I'd really love to talk to you about those changes. You took some notes earlier, yes?
The Exorcist, #1?
I did, Mom. But I really hope that this time...
Excellent. Hopefully you can help us out too, Isabel.
Isabella.
Right. It's a lovely name, Isabel.
It's Isabella.
Yes, that's great. We'll be more than happy to put in a good word to your superiors too, and what's this?
A look of confusion and disgust appears on her face. Turning to her husband, he merely shrugs in reply.
That's, an interesting work of art. Not to my taste, though. I'm sorry.
Darling, Buttercup, art is a complete overstatement for this garbage. It looks like a cheap prop from a D-list horror film.
I want to see it.
Shush, love. Let the girl do what she pleases with, what do they call this? Oh, forget about it. At the very least, it's not as...
The letter.
Dreadful as the one art exhibit I was forced to attend last month. You should have seen it, Marianne. Even you would have been appalled.
That's 3 people, only 2 left.
But I'm sure you'll know what to do with our walls once we get started.
I highly doubt it is as bad as you say, Mom. Nevertheless, you can be assured that my team will only pick whatever suits your tastes. Nothing of this chain letter sort, of course. It has to always work with a palette.
I'm quite sure chain letters these days don't come in this form.
It's my turn to be puzzled. What do they mean? Rose and I double-checked everything. Are the papers I handed not enough? I want to ask what I did wrong. I don't want to mess this up. But with the way Ma'am Hannah is leading the conversation, I'm afraid that's exactly what will happen if I do interrupt her.
That's good to hear. See, darling, isn't she an absolute delight to work with? I can't wait to see how this place will look when she's done with it.
Oh, you don't have to tell me that, Buttercup.
He knows all about how Marianne works. A smile's back on her face when she turns to me and hands me a strange piece of paper.
I would still put it away if I were you, though. Otherwise, people might get the wrong impression.
Nope, hand it to 3 people. My work is nearly done.
Anyway, as I was saying...
I don't hear the rest of what she says after that. I can only stare down at the paper, at the letter in my hands. The sides crinkle in my grip, my breathing grows labored. Dread quickly fills my mind.
Isabella? Isabella? Are you all right? You're looking pale.
I didn't even notice when Rose's group joined us in the parlor. I want nothing more than to say that, no, I'm not all right. I want to leave this place because I remember everything as clear as day. The letter and that woman in the attic, it's real.
The letter? I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Oh, she looks terrified in that CG. Careless, I've been so careless. How do I even tell them that without looking like I've gone mad? Should I even show them? If I show the letter to Rose, am I cursing her? If I show the letter to Rose, though, that's 4 people. I got 1 person left. Show the letter to Rose. Okay, what did that do to my relationship? Oh, Marianne didn't like that. I blurted out before I could think twice about what I'm going to say.
Rose, we need to get out of here. This place is cursed.
Rose cast a nervous glance at the people in the room. Most are still engaged in the conversation with their peers, but those curious enough to turn their heads in our direction have been given her trademark saleswoman smile. A tight expression is on her face when she pulls me aside.
Isabella, we've already had a conversation about this weeks ago. Those are just stories.
And I'm telling you that it's not. I saw something in there. It's not human at all.
Excuse me, my option was to show her the letter, not to just start babbling and breaking down in the parlor.
I thought it was just nothing, but isn't this letter proof enough?
She gently reaches out to pluck the paper off my hand. Without even taking a glance at it, she folds it back neatly.
Look, I'm really getting worried about you. I know you want to see this open house through, but your condition is more important. Give me a few minutes to wrap things up here, and I'll drive you to the nearest hospital.
No! You don't understand! There isn't a condition, Rose. No concussion at all. I'm fine. But this place isn't, and you're being stubborn about it.
Before Rose could open her mouth for a retort, a hand lands on both her shoulders, pulling the two of us a distance closer.
Now, ladies, what seems to be the problem here?
Stop touching us!
Nothing, sir. I just had to clarify a few things with my colleague.
Well, it certainly seems intense. A smile fits the two of you better, in my opinion.
Oh, go look at the basement again.
Especially darling little Lily here.
He gives my shoulder a gentle squeeze while an inscrutable smile spreads across his face.
It's Isabella, sir.
Of course. But my point still stands. And with two beautiful ladies here, I'm sure.
And I'm sure little Lily here would certainly appreciate it if you remove your pretty hands from her, darling.
The pressure on my shoulder lifts as soon as those words leave his wife's lips, while the scowl on her face is like a splash of cold water on me. It is almost impossible to miss the displeased frown on Miss McCullough's face. The realization that we might lose the sale because of my outburst immediately dawns on me. Rose will be beyond pissed.
I think I need to step out for a while. I'll be back.
Bowing my head, I mutter a quick apology and gather my stuff to make a quick exit. It doesn't matter if this place is haunted or not. I've caused trouble, and Rose can be quite unforgiving of behavior like this. I'm almost at the door when she catches up to me.
Isabella, wait!
The apprehension must have been quite obvious on my face because her expression instantly shifts to something gentler, eyes softer, a fond smile spreading on her lips.
Hey, I'm not angry.
I know. I'm sorry I ruined this for you.
Now falling down the stairs, getting cursed.
Come on, you didn't ruin anything. It's not like we haven't ran into any problems before. If we don't get a deal today, we can always try on a different day. And look.
She hesitates, completely trailing off before shifting her gaze down to her hands, a small gesture to stall. Her fingers are fiddling with a piece of folded paper. It's that stupid letter again. My hands stiffen when she gives it back, but I take it nevertheless, more as an automatic response than any desire to have it back. I'll throw it away if I can, but I have this nagging feeling that one way or another it'll find its way back to me regardless of what I do about it.
Rose, this is... You have to let them know about...
I know you want us to get this sale so badly, and we've made a lot of plans on how to go about this. I mean, who wouldn't? This is the first time I've been assigned to a property like this. I've sold plenty of houses before, but nothing like what we have here. It's a beautiful house. I'd love to get one of my own if I ever win the lottery. But I think... Look, here's the thing, Isabella. If we are going to do this, work on something, I don't know, this big, I need you in top shape. And the way you are now...
My mind stops.
What? Wait. No, I can still work. I just need to get myself together.
That's what you said earlier. I let it go because I thought, hey, it's your own body and you should know more than anyone how you feel. But after this, I really think you should take a break.
You're kicking me out?
No, I'm not. Look, all I'm asking is for you to take a seat somewhere I can see you and let me handle this for now. You're clearly not yourself, and I honestly could use some time not worrying when you'll fall over or not. The day's not even over, and I'm already feeling the stress. Please, humor me just this once.
She clasps her hands together in front of her, eyes pleading for understanding. And I do understand, to some extent. That doesn't mean I'll feel any less awful, whether at myself, at the unlucky turn the situation has taken, or for her, I don't really know.
I promise I'll give you a full report of what happens after. I'll even let you take the lead tomorrow.
Fine. Okay. I'll step aside for now.
You're upset.
A little, yeah, obviously.
If it's any consolation, I won't tell the boss about today. You know how he is.
Please don't. I don't want a repeat of the lecture I got during my first assignment. He called me a noob, and I don't even know what that means.
Proving that the term was accurate. At the memory, we both burst into helpless giggles, earning a strange looks from the guests milling about the door. Talking and laughing like this is easy to forget any mishaps that happened. Little things you learn to appreciate, I guess.
So, are we good?
I'm still not okay with it, but Rose has a point. It's better for me to step out of this one for now.
I won't be able to help you anyways if I keep getting distracted like this. Maybe I'll just take a walk outside or something while I wait for you to wrap things up.
Please, just stay put. I insist.
I'm not an invalid, Rose.
Oh my gosh.
You clearly have not seen how you looked earlier.
It's not that bad.
Color hasn't even returned to your cheeks yet. Just stay here, all right? Don't even think of going anywhere. Let me finish what I'm doing here, and then I'll take you back to Luxembourg myself to have that minor bump checked. At least wait for me to call someone who'll fetch you, okay?
She's gone before I can voice one word of complaint. Left with nothing else to do, I find myself drifting back to the foyer. A few visitors linger in the area, some merely enjoying the afternoon sunlight streaming through the stained glass windows. Others can be seen admiring the priceless antiques decorating the room. One group of elderlies gathered some ways across from me is occupied in a friendly banter about which one would cost more to buy. A little argument here and occasional laughter and teasing there. I smile to myself. The conversation reminds me of what I've been missing these past few months. Rose is probably right, I do need a break. Maybe this afternoon's hangout will help. Speaking of, I should call Ash. It's a few hours early from what I've told him, but he did ask for a call once I'm done. Besides, I don't have a ride back. He offered, so I might as well take it. Or bribe him into giving me one. Not that he'll ever accept the latter, personal convictions and all. Honestly, if there's something I find admirable in him, despite his tendency to annoy the hell out of me, it's that. Well, whatever way works, a free ride is still a free ride. There's Rose's offer too, but despite what she says, I know she'll be busy for the rest of the afternoon, especially without me assisting. Bothering her for a favor as small as this is the last thing I want to do right now. A couple of minutes and a few prayers asking for a decent signal later, the call finally connects and...
I'm Ash from Deluxe City.
What?
Baggers, watch out. Can't beat me. Looking for trouble?
How loud is this thing even?
I'm a cool dude.
A sharp ringing fills the entire hall, disrupting the pleasant quiet that has settled. Soon enough, heads begin to turn and search for the source, mine included. My eyes dart around the small crowd before zeroing in on a lone figure crouched behind the same group of old people checking out the decor moments ago. He's facing away from me, fumbling with something in his hands, but I don't need to see his face to know whose back it is. Oh, I'd recognize that dumb parka anywhere. Without bothering to end the call, I march towards him. After what happened today, I'm really not in the mood to deal with this.
Of all the times to...
Ashton Frey!
What happens next is something I'll surely regret later for not having recorded. He jumps to an undignified yelp, followed by his phone slipping out from his grip. It bounces from one hand to another in its poor attempt to catch it before ultimately falling flat on the floor with a resounding clack. I kind of feel sorry for the phone and the floor, but it's not every day that you can catch someone like Ash off guard and get a reaction. Damn his stupid detective senses. I'll take every ounce of victory I can get, no matter how small. Ha! An awkward pause passes between us. I blink. A cough. He makes a face. And then in a too quick motion, he ducks and retrieves his abused gadget, while a grin threatens to break out from my lips. He doesn't meet my eyes when he straightens, but a flush has crept up his neck and cheeks. In another universe where we haven't known each other for 5 years and suffering through his teasing isn't a day-to-day occurrence, chances are I'd find that adorable. Endearing, even. Unfortunately, this isn't that kind of world. The way things are, I'm already content to see him out of his obnoxiously calm and collected disposition.
Hello to you too, scaredy cat. I could stand to be greeted like a normal person, you know.
Look at his little name handle there.
What? And miss that look on your face? No way. Oh man, I should have taken a picture.
I am so honored you find this funny. Is that how you treat your guests? I think I need to talk to your supervisor.
Talk to yourself. You aren't even a guest here. What are you doing here in the first place?
For a moment, he looks like a cat that swallowed the canary. Suddenly checking every nook and cranny in his phone for any damage or scratches seems to be a more interesting activity than explaining himself.
Ash?
I could be looking to buy a house.
A mansion?
Yeah, why not? Did you see the view outside? It doesn't look haunted to me at all.
He's messing with me.
Ashton, I am not in the mood. What are you doing here?
He chances a glimpse at some point behind me. The parlor? Curious, I follow his gaze. Before I can figure out what has caught his attention, he places a hand on my shoulder and turns me back to face him.
I just finished working on something, so I dropped by.
I still don't see how his work has anything to do with why he's here. In my confused look, he drops his hand resting on my arm like he has touched something particularly hot and casually rubs the back of his neck.
And I said I'll see if I can pick you up. Turns out I can. Free time and all.
See, he's wearing his cross because he knows that this house is cursed.
So here I am. Figured you'd still be busy, and so I roamed around for a while.
Oh, you should have mentioned that sooner. I was about to throw you out.
Throw me? Hey, I was given a pamphlet. I think that makes me a legitimate client.
We have mandatory sign-in sheets for clients, Ash. I didn't see your name on it. And you can't just roam around because it says open house. Normal people actually follow an etiquette here.
Right, okay. I think I'll just go ahead and...
No, wait. I wasn't really going to throw you out. Rose said... Never mind. I was just about to leave anyway.
Wait, what? Now?
Something must have shown on my face because he pauses and gives me a long, hard stare. Sometimes I forget how easy reading people is for Ash, given how he often looks as if everything around him is a chore. I avoid his eyes, hoping he'll drop the subject and won't ask any more questions. The last thing I want is to tell him what happened, especially the part about the letter. In fact, he's the last person on Earth I'll ever think about telling it to if I can help it. Sure, he's a dependable guy. God knows how many times he's helped me, even without me asking for it. But stuff like ghosts and the supernatural, he'll never believe those, even if he hears it from a friend, except maybe if it's Becca. On a good day, the most harmless thing he'll do is give you an explanation why those things have no chance of ever being real. At worst, he's insufferable. He'll poke fun at you at every single chance he'll get. Ashhole. What did I ever do to him? He never does that to Becca or Zach. I can already imagine how things will go down the moment I spill a word of what I saw. Nope, over my dead body. Before it catches his attention, I shove the letter deep into my bag.
What's wrong?
Nothing. Well, let's just go.
Doesn't look like a nothing to me.
We still have Zach's movie tonight, remember?
It's still early. And didn't you say your shift will end around 5 or 6? What about... Hey, Isabella, wait up!
A rush of air greets me as soon as the main door opens. Not the usual autumn draft, but still a welcome change from the stifling atmosphere inside the mansion. Ash's footsteps are quick behind me, the soles of his shoes thumping hard against the polished concrete in an awkward cadence as he rushes to catch up. He calls out once, twice. The mansion still looms in the background. Whispers calling me back, shadows beckoning. I don't look back. All right, we're gonna leave it there and then come back for Zach's movie night, where I'm sure it's just gonna go great for Isabella. I'm sure it's gonna be so good for her. I can't say I'm sad about losing that relationship bit with... I can have a good relationship with Hannah or Luke. Oh, that's interesting. That's really interesting. Okay, I'm excited to see how we develop these relationship trees. So thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you think of the characters, who you're feeling, who you're not feeling. What would you do with this letter? And I'm looking forward to diving into another longer form one with all of you. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.